Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. It is Friday the 5th of February, which is the last day of my daily vlogs this week, and I have to say I've really enjoyed filming them and sharing them with you, and I know that a few of you have reached out saying the same, so thank you so much for your engagement and your questions. And I hope to make more of these in the future, so do let me know in the comment section down below what you would like to see. But of course, don't forget that I am filming a Q&A video this weekend as a video for you guys to watch on Sunday. So if you've got any other questions that you wanted to know about teaching or myself or anything that I've mentioned over these daily vlogs this week, then do let me know in a comment or pop over to my Instagram to let me know through a DM or over on those daily questions that I post on my Insta stories. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do subscribe to the channel if you want to get notifications about any upcoming videos. So my day actually started off really good. It was sunny outside. It currently still is sunny. It is about 3:30 in the afternoon right now, and I just wanted to talk you through how my day has been and what I've been up to. So I started off my workday at about 8:30. We just had a quick team meeting just to catch up and see how the week has been and just to obviously wish everyone a lovely weekend. I then had 3 live lessons this morning. So I started off by teaching my year 10s, that's my top set biology students, and they were really engaged. We did a lesson on the nervous system, and I actually had 2 other teachers popping into that lesson to just do an informal observation, just to get a little bit of ideas and create that sense of collaboration, and I think that's just so lovely to do. So I used Peardeck for that lesson, and I also used Google Jamboard, and it was really great to model to the students how to sketch and label and identify the differences in the different types of neurons. So that was really an awesome lesson. And then I had a little bit of a break before teaching another live lesson to year 9, and between those 2 live lessons I've sorted through lots of different admin tasks and also caught up with a bit of my marking. And then that year 9 lesson was also really good. I did have a few students less engaged. It is bottom set year 9, and so some of the students, they do log on to the live lesson and then they think that that is enough. But luckily, by using Peardeck, I've been able to see which students are actually able to answer the questions and which ones haven't. So then that gives me confirmation of their engagement, which I really love that function. I know it sounds like a sponsorship, but this is not a sponsorship for Peardeck, but I have been really enjoying that as a confirmation of their engagement. Brilliant. Okay, so most of you have answered now. I'm just going to quickly show you some of these lines of best fit. So absolutely brilliant here with these yellow lines. Those are our line of best fit. These are brilliant lines of best fit, okay? We always would want them to be straight. Now, we don't want to join the dots. So this red one here at the bottom, we don't want to join the dots. We just want to draw a line that is going through most of our points. And then as you can see, quite a few of you have identified that the anomaly is the one that is right there in the top corner that has been circled by a few of you, because it's the one that is the furthest away from the line of best fit. You can also notice that our line of best fit does not need to go through the origin of the graph. It doesn't need to go through the 0. After my year 9 lesson, I did have a bit of a longer break. So it was over an hour break, and that's where I finished off all of the admin and all of the key stage 4 marking for my year 10s and year 11s. And that just felt so good. I felt such a weight off my shoulders. And I also troubleshooted a few other problems that I had with students accessing their assessments and being able to edit the documents themselves. I then had my year 12 lesson, and I actually played around with nearpod. I'm going to show you that in a moment. It's another online tool to increase the engagement with students, and it was really good, and I definitely can see the potential. I just think I didn't have enough time to play around with it to create an amazing lesson. The lesson was fairly simple and straightforward, but I will be playing around a lot more with it and then share with you guys in an upcoming video sometime in the next few weeks, just to show you different examples of how I've played around with nearpod and what my students have thought and fed back to me. After my year 12 lesson, I had a lunch break, enjoyed a little bit of the sunshine, and then I sat down at my desk and I cleared all of the other last little things to do. And now I am about to just sit down and film some tutorial videos to share in a CPD session with the staff at my school, just to introduce them to how to set up Pear Deck, how to use Miro, and then I'll see if I've got any other time to, finish off some additional tutorials for them to complete on Monday. Now, it is worth mentioning a couple of things that have been on my list to do, but I haven't had a chance to do really these past few days, and it's something that has rolled over and I haven't necessarily prioritized because I know that there is time next week. So the first thing are the tutor calls that I have made a few this week, but I haven't by all means finished all of them, and that is something that I need to prioritize next week. And then I also haven't left feedback or checked every single piece of work that's been submitted by students. So I will probably need to spend about half an hour to an hour just going through all of my classes and identifying if there are particular individual students who have not engaged with any work over the past week, who are missing pieces of work, and just touching base with them to let them know and to also perhaps pass that on to their tutor or communicate home. And I'm also yet to also pop into some live lessons for other staff, just like I had this morning, people coming into my lesson. I still have to try and find a few lessons that other staff have offered for us to pop in and just decide which ones fit within my timetable and within my schedule. So then hopefully I can observe at least 2 different lessons and then get some ideas to implement in my own teaching. Okay, so let me just quickly show you my brain dump from yesterday and my to-do list, just update you on that, and then also show you some stuff over on my laptop. So my brain dump from yesterday is pretty much updated. I still have one admin task to do, which I will do a little bit later this evening or over the weekend, but I have actually cleared my entire inbox, which has been such a relief, so all of my admin is done. In terms of my marking, I have finished all of my Key Stage 4 marking. I do have a couple more of my top set year 10 to just finish off because their answers are a little bit longer and I just want to make sure I'm doing those correctly. I have done this year 8 class, so I only have my A-level biology marking to do. I say only have, it is the most time consuming. So I'm definitely going to be focusing on getting those done over the weekend and next week, but I only have to have those done by next week, Thursday and Friday. I did all of my lesson planning for today and those lessons went really well, and now I'm just going to be focusing on getting those tutorial videos made for the CPD session to share with staff exactly how to use Pear Deck and Miro, and then I'll see if I've got time to make a tutorial video on any other online tools that I've been using so far. So my to-do list for today was priority number 1, getting the tutorial videos done. I am going to be focusing on getting those done now. The marking has been completed, the admin has been completed, and then I just have to plan next week. Now, the reason why I actually ended up doing priority number 2 and 3 first was because my day was fairly bitty and I had a bit of time between my lessons, but not enough time to film a tutorial for staff to then use. So I just slotted in the admin and the marking between my live lessons, and that was just so much easier to get all of those things done. And now after my year 12 lesson, I'm able to actually spend a good chunk of time getting the tutorials done. So even though it was priority number 1, it doesn't mean I got that done first. So that's just a little quick note I wanted to make on that. I thought it would also be interesting just to look at the week at a glance. I've obviously vlogged every single day this week, and having had a little bit of an off day on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday definitely felt a little bit bitty and a little bit of catching up to do. But that being said, both days were highly productive. But my best day in terms of productivity this week was Monday, and it always is for me. I think on a Monday I always get so much more done. But I'm also going to be planning the next week in my bullet journal and my last page. So I've got one more page left for next week, so I will show you that in a moment. I have had a little bit of a play with Nearpod today just because I wanted to experiment another online tool, and I've seen this one around, and I know it's similar to Pear Deck, but it's just a little bit more comprehensive and perhaps a bit more detailed. So I delivered my lesson today to year 12 using Pear Deck, so I'm going to show that to you now. So I tried to have lots of different functions. I included a web link for them to do a quiz on a different tab, and then a reflection page to let me know how they did and what went well and even better if. And then we focus on doing some revision by doing exam style questions. So as they were answering this under timed conditions, I could then see at a glance the entire class what they thought. So I opted for doing sort of a multiple choice for this question. I embedded the PDF with the image for them to answer the question because I couldn't actually figure out how to copy paste images into the text box. And then they also had a go at doing some written answers under timed conditions. So I assigned a specific amount of time to the question, and then on my teacher dashboard I was getting the student names and the answers, and then I could give them a bit of verbal feedback. I found that using Google Jamboard on the side to show them the mark scheme worked really well, but what I have realized is that there is the function of opening a whiteboard throughout the lesson. The only struggle I had was I couldn't copy paste the mark scheme into this, so that's why I opted to use Google Jamboard instead, and I shared my screen to show them that. But yeah, we did some exam style questions and then I just set them off on some tasks. So obviously it was a really basic lesson. I didn't have much time to put it together, but I did want to play around with it, and the students did enjoy it. They gave me some really positive feedback, but they also did say that they preferred peardeck, but it might be just a limitation of how well I've been able to prepare this particular lesson. So yeah, I'll play around a bit more with it, and then maybe in a future vlog share with you some other lessons I've been able to create and the feedback that students have told me. And also just quickly, I haven't used this for the past 2 weeks, but it is another online tool that you might want to use called Miro, and it essentially allows you to collaborate and essentially run discussion-based activities with an entire class because you can share a board with them. Students can also then share boards with you, so if they then go and do something on a board and then they want you to see that, so for example a project-based activity, group discussions, etc., they can use this tool to be able to communicate with you. So a quick example is how I did my year 13 discussion on gene technology and ethics. Students were added and then they were able to add their own opinions and answers to this, and then just extend and keep going, and it was just really interesting to see how that worked. And this is the entire mind map that we ended up building, and the students found that really, really interesting and engaging. But there's just so many ways you could use it, so again, it's something I'll report back on, but if you've got some time, definitely play around with it, because it is like Google Jamboard. It's just so much more comprehensive, and there are just so many templates that you can use. You can use post-it notes and discussion-based things and timelines and voting and prioritizing grids, for example. So really, really good for more as like subjects that are a little bit more discussion-based and you have to argue your point of view and evaluate. I think this could be a really good tool for you. And there we go, that is it for today's video. I hope you have found this vlog useful, and I shall see you really soon in an upcoming video on Sunday and then next week as well. Take care guys, bye!